What's up, guys? What I have in my hand is the Nikon 14 to 30 Z f4S lens. And today in this video, we are going to review it. You guys ready? Let's rock and roll. What's good, guys? This is Vahagraphy. I'm Vahagan, your rock and roll photographer. Welcome to my official review of the Nikon Z 14 to 30 f4 zoom lens. Now, I have a few videos that I featured this lens on, but this is the big one. This is my thorough review that I promised you guys I will make of this lens. I bought this lens maybe about 2 months ago. I've used it on and off, mostly for video. Now later on in this review, I will tell you if I do recommend this lens or not. Like I said, I've owned this lens for about 2 months and I just enjoy the heck out of it. 14 to 30 f4 zoom lens, mirrorless lens by Nikon. So in this review, I'll be taking some sample images for you guys at 14 millimeters. We'll also try different focal lengths, zoomed in all the way to 30. I will also compare it to the 14 to 24 2.8 as well. This is a good lens for videography. I've used it, like I said, for about 2 months for some of my Vahagraphy videos, and it's just a stunning lens. I'll go ahead and explain to you guys why that is later on in this video. But we'll do some video clips as well. We'll compare it to other Nikon lenses, and we'll just have some fun with it. You name it, close focus, colors, sharpness, how it performs on a Nikon Z6 when you're doing photo and video. I'm gonna go through it all, guys. We're gonna test out focus speeds, focus tracking, you name it. We're just gonna have a blast in this review. Again, the Nikon 14 to 30 Z f4 lens. A little bit about the 14 to 30. Well, it's not heavy. It's not a heavy lens, and it's got a big zoom ring here on the side, as you could see. And when you zoom in like this, it extends, the body extends out just a little, not too much, which is nice. It's got a pretty good front, pretty big front element here. And it's got just one switch, auto and manual focus switch. And basically, if you're a Nikon shooter and you have mirrorless cameras, your only option for wide angle zoom is either this guy, which costs about $1,300 brand new plus fees, or you have a more expensive 14 to 24 2.8 Z as well, another outstanding lens, but that one's is over $2,000. So you have two options in the mirrorless system. I want you guys to really see the image quality of this lens right here, both photo and video. So if you're in the market and you're looking for a wide angle zoom for Z cameras, hopefully this video will help you guys out in deciding if you want to invest or not. A little later in this video, I will tell you the pros and cons of this lens right here. A little bit about the price. Again, like I said, $1,300 plus tax, brand new. It's hard to find this lens used in the used market right now. Whoever buys this lens doesn't want to get rid of it, and there are pretty good reasons why not to. Let's talk about weight and how it feels in the hand with the body. Weight distribution. Give me 1 second, let me grab a camera. So I got my Z6 right here, and we're gonna mount it onto the body. So you guys take a look at the camera and the lens together and what they look like and how it feels. I'll best describe it for you guys. Okay, so the camera and the body right here. Nikon Z6 original, and we have the 14 to 30 on the camera right here. So if you are zooming, and this is how it looks like all the way at 30 right here and 14. So really not a huge lens, not a heavy lens at all. it actually feels pretty good in the hand. To be honest with you guys, it feels right. It feels good. The weight distribution is close to perfect, and couldn't be happier with the way this camera feels. And like I said, and you guys probably already know this, Nikon makes the best mirrorless cameras as far as grip goes and how it feels in the hand. It feels solid, especially if you got, bigger hands. And we all know what those Sonys feel like holding it without a grip. But Nikon does a really good job with the handling, with the design of the handle. Yeah, it feels good, lens and body together. Let me show you with the hood. Where's that hood? Got the hood right here, guys. HB86 lens hood. And lens, camera, and hood right here. So, like I said, when you're zooming in and out, the good thing is it doesn't extend out too much, which one of my peeves when it comes to lenses that do that. But this one does not that much, so it's fine. And that's with the hood on. This lens takes 82 millimeter filters, not your standard 77. Be prepared to spend some money on filters, because 82 millimeters, the good quality ones, cost a little bit of money. So, but I do recommend something to protect the front element, especially when you're running and gunning at a wedding, or you're filming something when there's the elements and the beach, whatnot. I have an 82 millimeter UV Hoya HD3 filter on this. I usually don't take the filter off the lens, hardly ever. I want to protect, like I said, the front element at all times. The loss of quality is barely noticeable when you take it off. So this UV filter, the Hoya HD3 82 millimeter filter, is on here 100% of the time. And the 14-30 comes with the front cap, both front and back caps, not the FTZ adapter, just the back cap, the hood, the paperwork, a nice little box, all for $1,200 to $1,300. So the lens itself, it's got a nice zoom ring, nice big zoom ring in the front, and it also has a focus ring, which can be customizable in a Z6 or Z7. You can basically control the aperture, you can control the focus, and a whole host of other features with this ring right here. All right, guys, before we move forward with the 14-30 Z review, if this is your first time on Vahagraphy, I want to go ahead and invite you guys to subscribe to this channel. This is a channel where we talk about all things photography, camera lens reviews, the business side of photography, the artistic side of photography. This is a fun channel I put together on YouTube, and I want to go ahead and invite you guys, if this is your first time, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And also, give me a thumbs up on this video. The more people that see this video, the more thumbs up we get. YouTube algorithms works in our favor, and the more people that see this video, the channel grows, and we can bring you bigger and better content in the future. So that helps a lot. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up button, guys. Thanks a lot. All right, everyone. First up, let's go into the detailed specs of the Nikon Z 14-30 f4 super wide angle zoom lens. Here we go. Rock and roll. I can totally see myself using the 14-30 at live shows, capturing that extra wide angle shot, or at wedding receptions, the dance floor. You can get very creative with a lens like this. Whether you're doing photography or videography, the 14-30 fits its purpose very nicely. If you're on the fence and you're thinking about getting this lens or the much more expensive 14-24 Z, I'm sure that lens at double the price does everything this one does and better, but you're gonna have to stop and think about for a second. Do you want to spend a lot more money? Personally, I don't miss the weight of the 14-24 G lens. That G lens is top heavy, and especially if you're using a mirrorless system, and I can safely assume that the 14-24 2.8 Z lens is heavier than this guy. But when I use this lens, I find that the balance to the camera in my hand works very well to my liking. Now, Nikon markets this lens as being the first 14mm zoom lens to allow filters to be attached in front of the lens. This is a big plus for all you landscape shooters that use filters, or filmmakers, cinematographers using ND or polarizers. You don't need an extra housing to drag along with you to the shoot. You could just screw on that 82mm filter and you're ready to rock and roll. Now, I'm sure that 14-24Z is a marvelous lens. Nikon, you know where to find me. If you want to send me one to review, I'll be more than happy to rock that review as well. Now, if you want to check out the video I made comparing these two lenses, the 14-30 and the 14-24G lens, I have a video on Vahagraphy where I go through images where I compare them side by side for you guys so you can see the difference. You can find the link in the description below this video. Pretty cool specs and features, huh guys? Hopefully you enjoyed that segment I put together. Right now, let's go out, let's do some sample images of the 14-30 f4, and later on in this review, we'll do the video clips, because this lens is awesome for video, let me tell you. So we'll go over all that later on. Let's go rock the sample images right now. Is this thing on? Are we recording? These two chairs are looking pretty cool right now. With the trees and the environments, gotta love a beautiful sunny day. This is all the way at 14mm. Let's zoom in a little to the chairs. I'm at 5.6 right now. There we go, focusing on the chairs at f4. F4, and then let's do one at 14mm here. All right, right now we're gonna shoot this lens totally with the sun in the background shining in on the lens, so you can see some ghosting and the flare. We'll do a ghosting and flare test right now. We'll use this tree right here. Here's one sample I shot at 14mm and one with 30mm, shooting against the sunlight. Like I said, love shooting beautiful trees and scenery. Beautiful day to shoot. Couple of samples shooting it at f4 and f22, and I went ahead and I cropped it heavily on this next image at f22 so you could see the sharpness cropped very much so. What do you say we take this lens out for a little spin around the neighborhood, shall we? Let's go. Rock and roll. When it's a beautiful day out, it's just you and the camera. It's just so relaxing, guys. These next sample images I shot at f4 here and f8, and I'm going to be zooming into the corners so you can see the sharpness at the corners. Z lenses are fantastic when it comes to this. I'm starting to really appreciate Nikon and their Z lens lineup. The sharpness, the colors. I was driving around the neighborhood taking some sample images for this review. Now pay attention to this picture coming up. This one right here. I'm going to zoom in to the center. Look at that sharpness. Wide open f4 so you could see the bokeh and just the overall quality of the lens. Alright, if you're familiar with my channel and my reviews, if you enjoy my reviews, you know I love doing video clips. So we'll do some video clips right now. And by the way, guys, I want to try a few different things. I want to do tripod at 14mm. I want to hand hold it. Close focus, you name it. And just for fun, guys, if you're interested in this lens for video, I will also do some clips with the 24mm lens, just so you guys see the difference in focal length and how much wider you get using this lens. I have the 24-70 f4Z lens, so that's the kit lens. Amazing lens, by the way. I love that lens. We'll compare them both and we'll just have some fun with it. Let's go. All right, everybody. In this portion of the review, it's video clip test time. I'm not recording with this beauty right here. However, I am recording with the 24-70 Z lens f4 right now. And just so you guys see the difference in wide angle. Right now I'm at 24 millimeters, the widest that 24-70 can go. And as you can see with that camera right there, the camera and the lens is right next to the desk, right? So I'm recording this the widest at 24-70. Now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna attach this lens right here to the camera, and we're gonna just see how wide 14 millimeter is compared to the 24-70. So you guys ready? I'm gonna switch lenses right about now. Let's switch them around. All right, we have the 14-30Z on the camera right now. Focal length wise, it's a lot wider. Now you can see that I didn't change the camera position. I left the camera same position. All I did was I switched the lens over, and I just wanted you guys to get an idea of how much wider the 14 is than the 24. So just in case you have this lens right here and you're wondering should you get a 14 millimeter, you know, this is how much wider you can go. Same position on the camera, right? Same position, just switch the lenses. So you're getting a lot wider coverage. Not only are you looking at the focal length difference, you're looking at sharpness between the two, you're looking at colors, and you're looking at overall picture quality. So what do you guys think? This is the 14-30 right now on the camera. Let's do a close focus test. 24-70 right here. So let's see how close this thing can focus. Obviously, I don't know, you know, I'm not seeing what's recording, but we're gonna have to preview this later. Let me back it up just a little bit. This is a close focus test. Yeah, so this is at f4. Just for fun, let's do this, guys. Let me slap on the 14-24 G lens on this camera right here. And I want you to get an idea of the differences between both 14 millimeters. So the 14-30 Z lens right now recording natively, and I will slap on the 14-24 G lens with the FTZ adapter. Okay guys, let's do that right now. Okay, I just mounted the 14-24 G lens on the Z6 with the FTZ adapter. Now, as you can see, I didn't move the position of the tripod. We're still at the same position, and all I did was, you know, unfortunately, you guys know the FTZ adapter. You have to take the camera off, mount the FTZ adapter, and then mount the tripod head collar on to the camera, or in this case, the FTZ adapter. Now we have the 14-24 G lens on the camera. So I want you guys to pay attention to the difference of obviously focal length, right? But not only focal length, colors, sharpness. When you're doing video clips, is there a difference? And by the way, I'm recording this clip at f4. This 14-24 lens, you guys know, is a 2.8 lens. So right now we're at f4 right now. Just so you guys see a difference, let's do a close focus kind of test. Here is the 14-30. With my understanding, the 14-24 G lens does close focus very well. You know, just look at that front element. It's gorgeous. Let's give it a shot here. Now, for fun, let me open up the aperture on the 14-24 wide open at 2.8, and let's see how much more light we get in at 2.8. Okay, at 2.8 right now. Left all the camera settings the same. We're at 2.8, 14-24. You guys know that the 14-30 is an f4 lens. If you really don't need 2.8, guys, and you're fine with f4, this lens right here does a heck of a job. So if anybody tells you, oh, you need a 2.8, these modern, you know, mirrorless cameras these days, especially the Z6, does an amazing job recording, you know, at higher ISOs. So do you really need a 2.8 lens? You got to ask yourself that. Are you ready to pay? Are you willing to pay double the price just to get a 2.8? Obviously, like I said, I haven't played around with the 14 to 24 Z lens. I'm sure it will blow my mind. Is it worth double the price? This lens already does a really good job, you know, at 14 millimeters. Weigh your options, guys. If money's no object for you guys, obviously, you know, get the 14-24 2.8 Z lens. Another thing to realize is that the 14 to 30, yes, it is an f4. However, it's lighter and it's a little more compact than the 14-24 Z lens. So if you're traveling and you don't want to pack heavy and you have limited space in your bag, this might be an option. And like I said, if money is no object, obviously I would get all the Z lenses. But like most of us, working pros, money is a factor, and we have to weigh our options and pick the best that suits us and the budget that suits us as well. So you're gonna have to think about all those options and just go from there. Okay, we need straight lines, so I found the perfect thing to shoot up on top. I love the flip out screen, guys. That comes in handy, right, guys? All right, lines. Are the lines straight? Hopefully they are. Let's take a shot. So for all you vloggers out there that are thinking of getting this lens and vlogging with it, I put the camera on IBIS on, and I'm hand holding this right now, and I'm trying to keep it steady with my hand extended out like that, so you guys see the wide angle field of view at 14 millimeters. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a little walk, and as steady as possible. Now this will work much better with the gimbal, right, guys? Obviously, but if you need to hand hold this for a quick shot, you can, and you get some acceptable footage. All right, guys, let's do a walking focus test. Let's see how quick and accurate this lens focuses. All right, ready? Here we go. One more time, one more time. By the way, we're at f4. And how is the focus tracking? Rock and roll. The 14 to 30Z f4 review. All right, a few more video clips for you guys in this review. And we'll just take a little nature walk, and we'll just do some video clips. Let's see how smooth the autofocus is. It's pretty impressive, guys. Check this out again. The autofocus from the background to the foreground is pretty smooth. Wow, that's something else. I like that. Let's try it again. I'll save you from rewinding the YouTube video. Nice. Well, that was at 30. This is at 14. So guys, when you're doing video clips with the Z system with the 14 to 30, it's just a joy to use. It's so fun and easy to use, and you get an awesome field of view with 14 millimeters doing video. And did I mention the focus is smooth and it's quiet? It's a native Z lens. Obviously, I'm not using no FTZ adapter or anything like that, but you know what? This lens is worth every penny and more. It's such a capable lens. It's sharp, the colors are beautiful, and that 14 millimeter just looks super gorgeous. And if you need a little more reach, guys, and you're at 14 and you have a gig and you just need a little more reach, boom. Okay, so right now I set the dial on the lens. Remember that I told you about that the focus ring dial can be customized in the Z6 or Z7? Well, I set it at power aperture. Now I'm gonna be controlling the aperture right now with the dial. So right now I'm at f4, and we're gonna go ahead and stop it down with the focus ring. 5, 6, 8, 9, 11, 13. Let's go ahead and do all the way wide open again at f4. I'm controlling it with the dial, and it's very smooth. All in all, guys, this is a beautiful piece of glass, either for photography or videography. And, right now, like I said, for those of you videographers out there that are interested in this lens doing video, just look at the quality. I mean, the quality speaks for itself. The sharpness, the colors, you name it. It's at f4, guys. Look how sharp. Just look how sharp. Welcome back. Welcome back, everyone. That was so much fun filming this review for you guys. The Nikon 14-30Z f4S super wide zoom lens. I give it a 10 out of 10. For what this lens does, the picture quality, the sharpness, edge to edge, the performance, the focus accuracy, as you saw in this video, it's just remarkable, guys, and it's worth every penny. Don't even think about it. If you have the money and if you're budgeting yourself on a super wide lens, you have the Z6, Z7, Mark II, you name it, Z5. So if you're budgeting yourself around the same price, about $1,000, a little over $1,000, and you're thinking about either getting the 14-24 G 2.8 lens with the FTZ adapter, you have an FTZ adapter. Mind you have the mirrorless Z6, Z7 II or original cameras, Z5. And you're thinking, should I get a zoom lens? Which lens should I get for about $1,000? And it was up to, it was either the 14-30Z or the 14-24 G 2.8 with the FTZ adapter. No brainer, guys. I would go with the 14-30 before I even consider the 14-24 G. You'll be much happier. The quiet focus, smooth focus, colors, edge to edge sharpness, you name it. The focus ring is customizable, and you get a little more reach. Now, again, like I said, I haven't played with the 14-24Z 2.8 monster yet, and I'm pretty sure it's a beast of a lens, obviously, but it's also double the price. So who is this lens for? What is this lens used for the most? Well, if you're doing landscape photography, if you're doing video work, it's a perfect vlogger's lens. It's a really nice all-around wide lens. You're doing wedding photography and you want those wide shots. Awesome. And f4 is enough. f4, like I said, at wedding receptions, I shoot at, f4 and lower. I hardly shoot at 2.8. So I don't really need 2.8 as far as a wedding goes. And who wants a heavy lens at a wedding, right? You already have an awesome light Z6 for a wedding. Who wants a heavy 14-24 G? Don't even get that, guys. This is perfect. Wedding photographers, real estate photographers, commercial photographers, landscape, street photography. This lens couldn't be more happier. So, yeah, guys, what else can I say? 10 out of 10 all around. Vahagraphy gives the Nikon 14-30Z f4S lens 10 out of 10. Now, there are a few things I don't like about this lens. There's one thing, but I mean, it's really not a deal breaker, and that's that it's not a 2.8. It's not a 2.8 lens. Sometimes I wish I had a little more light. However, Z6, you crank up the ISO, and no problem, guys. Now, the Z6 is awesome in low light, so it's really not a deal breaker. That's the only drawback of this lens. It's that it's not a 2.8, but I hardly miss it. I hardly miss it with this lens. So that being said, guys, again, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed my official review of this spectacular Nikon lens. It's time for me to get out of here, guys, but we'll see you on the next video. This is Vahagraphy. I'm Vahagan, your rock and roll photographer. And remember to rock your images always. We'll catch you later. See ya.